LazyTown, A Battle of Two Wills by Dr. William Luther Pierce. In order to counter the forces of Zog, the white man must confront the very nature of the beast, stare into the abyss and say, no. We, dear reader, can do this in myriad ways, one of which we will explore today through the analysis of the media they produce. Once one can read between the lines and decipher the symbolism, the esoteric language they employ becomes exposed. What better medium to examine than a show for children? The messages are simple and may conceal wisdom that we have yet to uncover. Let us seek any clues that might aid us in defeating our enemy. We have in this world two forces, good and evil, dark and light. Here we have this ancient dichotomy represented in a different way. Healthy and unhealthy. One could say diligence and sloth. The show itself is a story about the battle for LazyTown's soul. Our yin and yang in this story, Sportacus and Robbie Rotten. Firstly, Sportacus. He embodies the will of the white man to strive for a higher mode of consciousness, living in harmony with the Logos, and conquering one's passions without losing compassion for his fellow man who have not yet reached this epoch. Just preceding Sportacus's return to LazyTown, we find out that he hails from an island in the North Sea, flying to LazyTown in a blimp no less, and bringing with him out of the hollow earth wonders of Hyperborean technology with which he can battle the trickster's games. There is a sense that Sportacus could do without this tech, and only uses it to do his job of helping the characters more effectively, putting technology in its proper place, using it as a tool for growth instead of tyrannical control. Sportacus, however, is not without his flaws. As an Aryan, his trusting nature often leads him to fall for Robbie Rotten's tricks. Yet with the help of the community, who naturally emulates his superior mode of being, he always manages to defeat the archetypal Jew. Regardless of who needs help in LazyTown, Sportacus is always there to lend a hand. Be they Negro, fat, addicted to video games, or the very force of subversion itself, makes no difference to him. The Faustian spirit of the Aryan overcomes the wicked candy merchant. One could liken the struggle of the unassuming idealist Sportacus to the archetype of Sisyphus. No matter how many times he helps the simple townsfolk, they keep falling down the mountain into their old habits to be rescued, countless times over every episode. And Sportacus, finding joy in pushing this boulder, helps them back up to the peak of self-mastery, helping them to unite their very wills to the ideal Aryan mode of being, at harmony with nature. One thing to observe when analyzing the life of the citizens of LazyTown is that there are no adults. Truly, the degeneration of this quaint dystopia is more ingrained than we initially realize, when the only thing driving these children is their addiction to the short-term pleasures that have been set up for them. Isn't it telling that the victims of this hedonic trap are literally puppets? The only human characters, Stephanie, Sportacus, and the Semitic Robbie Rotten, are the only ones fighting against or encouraging this degeneracy. Truly, it evokes an Evolian image, that the only real people are the ones engaging with the battle for the soul of the town. Mayor Milford Meanswell is a perfect example of the ideal politician that the Jew will corrupt to control the masses. He is perfectly content to sit back and enjoy the silence within his cozy little empire, letting his citizens stew in sloth and gluttony. His relationship with Miss Busybody encapsulates the pathetic nature of this man, trying desperately to obtain the interest of a woman by catering to her every whim. With the town's de facto dictator in such a sorry position, it is no wonder that people don't care about their quality of life. His people-pleasing ways have led to the town to the place it's in. His story serves as a grave warning for leaders, not just to be figureheads, but to wield power effectively to benefit the people looking to you. It is actually Robbie Rotten who holds the true power, manipulating the townsfolk in the shadows. Not only that, but he is proud of his work, encouraging the degeneration of the children. However, Milford does actually have some redeeming qualities that make him more than the typical boomer. He does actually care about his niece's well-being, and is thus the impetus for Sportacus's arrival. The subsequent spiritual battle that ensues is partially thanks to his compassion. One can liken the use of shared physical activity Sportacus introduces into the community to the National Socialist Strength Through Joy program enacted by the Nazi Party. Robbie Rotten is an apt name for such a grotesque villain. We learn that he has defeated 9 of Sportacus's predecessors. This is a man who is seemingly innocuous, and yet his Orwellian surveillance systems and disguises reveal his iron grip on the hearts and minds of the characters. When Trixie calls him the laziest, grumpiest, never-do-anythingest guy in all of LazyTown, he thanks her for noticing his hard work, for he has indeed labored tirelessly to embody all of the habits that lead one to ruin. Interestingly enough, the puppet children all seem to imitate certain aspects of Robbie himself. He has enabled their spiritual idolatry to a point where the characters effectively have been transformed into icons of his various degenerate traits. Trixie, the mischievous trickster. Stingy is wholly consumed by avarice. Pixel's love of video games. And Ziggy's bottomless gluttony. These all would be the death of the town if not for Stephanie's fated arrival to it, and her bringing back of the hero who epitomizes the opposite of these passions, and throws a spanner into the works of the deceiver. Stephanie arrives in LazyTown as an outsider, untainted by the epidemic of sloth that has gripped the town. Naturally dismayed by the denizens' unwillingness to engage in anything beyond the banal pleasures bestowed on them by Robbie Rotten, she instead chooses the traditionalist path of riding the tiger. She encourages her friends to transcend their base passions and strive for a higher mode of being. However, Stephanie soon realizes that her enthusiasm alone is insufficient to break the near MK Ultra level conditioning successfully imposed on the children. Consequently, she enlists the help of a hero to aid in her quest for transformation and renewal. She embodies the child heroine archetype of the story, since she is both the catalyst and Sportacus's continual savior, using her natural wit and charisma to rally the other children together, outsmarting the trickster just as he's claiming his victory. Whilst we may look upon the situation in LazyTown as being hopeless, things are not quite yet as bleak as they seem. Robbie, being entirely motivated by aimless destruction, is often blinded to the good in his lashing out, falling into his own traps as often as he is successful with them. To quote Haldir from Lord of the Rings, "Whereas the light perceives the very heart of darkness, its own secret has not yet been discovered." The continual shortcomings of the town are of no bother to Sportacus, since he finds immense joy in lifting his fellow man up to the peak with him. Sportacus is always the better man, seeing the best in his foe when Robbie has demonstrated countless times that all he desires is the destruction and perversion of all virtue into meaningless nothingness. The music of LazyTown is a vibrant and energetic force that propels the narrative, embodying the show's themes of vitality and moral struggle. Composed by Magnus Schweving, who also portrays the character of Sportacus, the soundtrack is a potent blend of pop, electronic, and children's music, designed to captivate and inspire. Each character's theme song serves as a window into their essence, with Robbie Rotten's We Are Number One championing the ideals of laziness and decay, while Sportacus's themes reflect the pursuit of strength and unity. The music is not merely a backdrop, but a vital tool, weaving together the show's messages of health, fitness, and the eternal battle between virtue and vice. Through its infectious melodies and powerful lyrics, the music of LazyTown resonates deeply, encouraging children to embrace a life of vigor and purpose, even as it subtly reflects the cosmic struggle for order and meaning. The episodic nature of LazyTown is a microcosm of the eternal struggle between order and chaos, a battle that echoes the eternal battle between good and evil. Each episode serves as a self-contained narrative, a skirmish in the larger war for the souls of its young viewers. Within these episodes, the forces of virtue, embodied by Sporticus, clash with the seductive allure of sloth and decay, represented by Robbie Rotten. The repetition of themes and characters across episodes reflects the cyclical nature of this cosmic conflict, where the lessons of one day are quickly forgotten, only to be relearned in the next. This episodic structure, while seemingly innocuous, is a powerful tool for reinforcing the show's underlying messages of discipline, health, and the perpetual vigilance required to maintain a life of purpose and meaning. Through this lens, LazyTown becomes not just a children's show, but a reflection of the ongoing battle for the hearts and minds of its audience. A battle that mirrors the greater struggle for cosmic order. In conclusion, LazyTown is more than just a children's television show. It is a microcosm of the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Through its vivid characters and engaging narratives, the show explores the themes of virtue, vice, and the perpetual battle for the hearts and minds of its audience. Sporticus, with his unwavering dedication to the health and discipline of the people, represents the ideal of Aryan excellence, a beacon of hope in a town gripped by sloth and decay. Robbie Rotten, with his cunning and manipulation, embodies the forces of chaos and destruction, constantly seeking to undermine the order that Sporticus strives to maintain. The music, with its infectious melodies and powerful lyrics, serves as a tool to reinforce these themes, encouraging viewers to embrace a life of vigor and purpose. As we delve deeper into the symbolism and esoteric language of LazyTown, we uncover a wealth of wisdom that can guide us in our own struggle against the forces of Zog. Through this analysis, we gain a deeper understanding of the show's true purpose: to inspire and educate, to strengthen our resolve, and to remind us of the eternal battle for order and meaning